Good evening. Good evening. Dawn Ori with DawnOri.com and Coach Janae, and also real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Realty, formerly Coldwell Banker sorry, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage. The words sometimes they come out like that, like they should when I'm tired. Anyway, hi, how are you tonight? I can't see, my glasses are over there. And so if you're popping on, forgive me because I can't see names, I can't see faces, I can't see anything because I have my contacts in, so I'm close. Oh, hey, Earl. Hey. So I can see a little bit. It's blurry, but I can see. um, so tonight I'm actually talking about basically working on your faith in scary times. Um, I've been having a lot of conversations with people who are, of course, dealing with fear because there's so much happening all around. So many people losing people, so many people afraid to be outside, so many people afraid to be at home, so many people afraid, so many people afraid. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys a couple of really key points really quickly about what I have done in the past that has helped me with being afraid. Hey, Roberta. Yeah, I did. That is my sissy, Roberta. Hi. And so I just wanted to kind of give you some quick, hey, cousin, some quick thoughts on being afraid and what you can do in this time when there is so much uncertainty that's happening around us. So the first thing that I was thinking that would be helpful, that helps me when I'm going through challenging times, when I'm afraid, when things are overwhelming to me, is to step back and to define what's really happening to me. Define the fear. Really focus in on what it is that is making me afraid. Is it the unknown? Is it the lack of control? Because I really like to be in control. Is it the desire to know what's next? Because again, I really like to be in control. Is it the idea of loss, of peril in my own right for my body, the sickness, whatever it is, the not having what I need, the lack, all of the things that are around us right now that are facing so many people. And I was just thinking that when I define it, when I sit back and I say, what is really happening? What am I feeling? And what happens if that happens? Just take it all the way to the end. Take it all the way to the end. So if I get sick from whatever, how does that affect me? What does that do to my people? I deal with that by preparing. I talk with them. I express my love. I express my wishes. I express my all of that stuff. If it's the lack of control, because again, I like to be in control. Make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to be aware that there are certain parts of this life that I can control and certain parts that I can't, and do what I can in the situation to control it, what I can control in my human power, and what I cannot control, let it go. That's such a huge relief when what you cannot control, you just kind of let it go. It makes things very different. So there's that. And then let's see. I said create a few plans. So what I do to make sure that I have what I need, I create plans. I am the consummate planner. I plan the plan of the plan, and then I plan some more. And so by doing that, again, I take control of what I can. I make sure I have what I need. I make sure that I put aside what I can give. I make sure that I put aside what I need to possibly do for other people that are in my immediate circle. And then everything else that I can't control, that I can't do, that I don't have stocked up, if it's not in the plan, I don't step outside the plan, because stepping outside the plan brings more uncertainty. Of course, you pivot when you have to, but when it's not a situation where you have to pivot, stick with the plan, because the plan will always be the thing that you can fall back on if you ever really need it. The overwhelm is sometimes referred to in certain circles as the lack of a plan. So remember that when you're thinking about all the uncertainties that are going on in this world, plan as much as you can plan. So in my family, we talk all kinds of plans. We talk, you know, do you have life insurance? Do you have death, ADD and accidental death or dismemberment, whatever the the acronyms are for that. We talk about that. We talk about, do you have money stored? How much money? Where is the money? If I need to get to the money for you, what happens if you need to if you can't speak for yourself, who speaks for you? We plan everything so that there is no question about what, in case of this, we have this. Hey, Andrea. So practical planning helps to solidify you in fearful situations, because at least, even though you can't control all the uncontrollable things, you at least still do have a plan in place for the things that you can control. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is relax in the limited power that you have and release into the infinite power that God has. Because even though you take your idea of fear all the way to the end and you deal with that fear at the end and say, okay, so what happens if that happens? Now, if that happens, then what? If I don't have a job and I don't have money, then what? If I don't have, if I don't have a place to live, then what? If I don't get my job back, if my job never comes back, then what? All the way to the end. I take everything to the end. I make plans and plans upon the plan. But when it all comes down to it, I'm not in charge. And I realize that I'm not in charge of everything. I'm only in charge of making sure that I'm prepared for what happens in my power, my limited human power. But I also understand that God is in control and that He has the power to do way more than I do. And because of that, I relax in the fact that as a human, I've dealt with the fear all the way out. I've dealt with the planning to the nth degree. And then I relax in the fact that because I've done all I can do, there's nothing left for me to do. And I just rest in whatever happens, because I know I can't control it. Like, my friend was in the hospital. My friend that is like a sister to me, Lamisa, was in the hospital. And when I found out, I literally fell to pieces. I was a mess. But then I had to realize that, no matter what I do, I can't control that. But I can love her right now. I can be her friend right now, be her sister right now, be all that I can be to her right now. And God has the rest. I can plan to love her. I can plan to hug her. I can plan to hold her. I can plan for all the things on both sides. But when it comes all the way down to it, not up to me. So that's what I wanted to kind of share with you guys. The idea that you need to make sure that you really and truly look at the fear in the eyes. Look at whatever it is that you are afraid of and build yourself a hedge around that by taking it all the way to the nth degree. Then realizing after you've taken it all the way to the end and there's no more, because what if that, and what if, and so what, and so what, now what, and so what, and so what, now what? Then make all the plans you can make for every possibility and relax and let God do the rest, because that's all you can do anyway. And when I do that, it helps me to not be afraid, because I know I've prepared all of myself, what I can prepare, and then Divine takes over. My pastor, oh God, okay. My pastor used to say, we do the hard part. God does the impossible. We do our part. We do the hard part. We do the planting. We do the sowing. We do all that stuff. God does the impossible. He does everything outside of us that we cannot do. He does everything outside of us. He controls everything that we cannot control. And so tonight I just want to encourage you guys. You don't have to be in fear. You can really, really be in faith. All you have to do is take that fear all the way to the end. Okay, if this happens, then what? Okay, if this happens, then what? Okay, if this happens, then what? Plan for all the then whats and take your hands off of it and rest in the fact that you've done all you can do and let God do what He's going to do. And that's how we get through this. So, y'all, that's what I wanted to say tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff because I got a lot to say this week. Thanks for listening. This is Dawn Ori with Coldwell Banker Realty, DawnOri.com, Coach Dawn A, Abundance Coach, Watchman of the Wall for your abundance. And I will see you guys another time. Have a great night. Bye.